Aoife, the exam is tomorrow. What's the best thing a student can do in the time available?
Well, the big thing to remember now is that you have worked so hard for this exam up until this point. You have put in 2 years worth of learning. So now is the time for rest. Now is the time to be organized and ready to take the exams. It's really important to avoid the temptation to study late into the night or try and learn a new topic or try and get a final bit of preparation done. Our brains have to switch off in order to retain information and to learn and to produce and reproduce that information later. So really important to finish up your study at a reasonable time on the day before the exam, not too late. Perhaps give yourself time to go for a walk or take some exercise or spend time with family, have a nice meal before taking an early night and going to bed and getting good rest. If there are things that you feel you want to go over last minute and you want to freshen up in your mind, much better to get up early and do that in the morning just before the exam rather than staying up late and potentially being too tired to work on the exam at the time. Have your bag packed as much as possible, have your clothes or your uniform laid out, have your packed lunch done, anything that can just give you one less thing to worry about in the morning. Find the bus ticket or ask for a lift, whatever you need to do to get that morning going nice and smoothly as much as possible.
Okay. Now it's the morning of the exam. So what's the best routine?
Yeah. Well, if you do need to go over some things, that's absolutely fine. But don't try and learn a new topic, obviously. Maybe have your flashcards or just go over one or two things. Get to the school early. Okay, especially in the first exam or first couple of exams. There are a huge number of students in every school, and even though we don't have junior certs, there's still a lot of exam centres. Make sure you have your exam number, make sure you know what it is, and make sure you have the materials for your exams. It's nothing, it's quite disconcerting for students if they forget something like their calculator that they need to bring in with them. Make sure you know what room you're to go to in the school, or give yourself enough time to find that out when you arrive. And remember, for the first exam, you still have to be in your seat a half an hour before that exam starts. 15 minutes thereafter for other exams, but you want to have all of that figured out and in your seat and nice and relaxed and haven't been rushing until that moment. You do also have to follow your COVID guidelines that you've been doing in school all year. So 2 meters apart, mask on for the entire time, and if you need to wipe down your desk with anti-bac wipes, whatever that is going to be.
If students have been dealing with COVID in school this year or in remote learning, what impact will it have on the exams?
Well, like everything to do with COVID in school this year, we will need to go a little bit slower at the start of the exam. So it'll be really important that students arrive early as possible and give themselves loads of time to do those COVID related behaviours that they need to do. But the big thing to remember is, if you are diagnosed with COVID, unfortunately, at any stage during the exams, if you are a close contact at any stage, or if you have symptoms or any COVID symptoms at any stage, you do not attend the exams. And remember that you have your accredited grade there as your safety net. To not panic. It might be disappointing. Of course, it's going to be disappointing when you've prepared so hard to do an exam that you can't sit, but you'll have your accredited grade there, and that will support you going through to your career and college choices next year.